Hello. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about deep work, specifically deep work in the definition from Cal Newport. Cal Newport is a computer scientist and a professor. I can't remember which university he teaches, but it's a university from the United States. And well, he wrote this book called Deep Work that has very nice concept. And he argues that we live in a very distracted world. That's obvious, right? With all the social networks and apps and tools that try to grab our attention. And he argues that he argues that working in a deep work state will be something very valuable and is the only way to build also valuable things. So deep work stands for the type of work that is focused, undistracted, and in cognitively demanding tasks. So for some examples could be solving a math equation, writing a book, practicing a musical instrument. So there's a lot of examples for that, right? And so he argues that building and developing this deep work muscle, I'm not sure also actually if he argues that if we can see deep work as a muscle, like a skill or muscle that we can develop, but I think we can. So I think it's fair to say that if you put more time trying to develop good habits on deep work, you inevitably get stronger and better in working in that framework, right? So bringing this concept, actually I have first to talk about the opposite, the shallow work. So shallow work stands for the kind of tasks that, well, they are in a very distracted mode with a lot of interruptions. They don't bring too many value, but they don't inherently are bad, but they could be necessary. So bringing all of those concepts to the developer scenario. So let's say that you are a data scientist, machine learning engineer. You could be straightforward working and developing a model and coding, but you know that on the day-to-day, you have to talk to your colleagues, to the project manager. You have maybe to annoy someone to get some of the data. You have to search where is some documentation X or Y. So how do you manage that? How do you manage deep work and shallow work? Because we know deep work will build valuable things, but we also know that shallow work is part of the job, right? So what I am doing right now, I'm open to changing this. So I like to have very, very clear boundaries on what is the time for deep work and what is the time for shallow work. So I really like the idea of having 50 minutes of very intense deep work. And that means no Slack messaging, no Teams messaging, no meetings. So just plain laser focused in technical stuff. And when that time passes, I can then maybe have a look on Slack, on email. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. So a block of 50 minutes of deep work, followed by like 5 to 10 minutes to check Slack, because on the day-to-day, it's important. I work as a machine learning engineer. So yeah, I think those are the concepts that I try to expose here. There's a lot of paths that we can explore on those concepts, but just as a first introduction to shallow work and deep work and how I somehow manage those two kind of frameworks. So yeah, that's it.